unboxing is the big book of jobs, and it's by Albatros, or the publisher is Albatros, and then there are 4 contributors, and I believe they are the people who wrote the story. I'm not sure who's the illustrator, but this is a guide to picking your path. And honestly, I'm particularly excited about this because I come from the world of work. The company that I started when I was in college is a staffing solutions company. And we ended up, sort of morphing into a temp agency. And then we also did permanent placement. And then we did all kinds of other things. And so we were in sort of more the computer space, but also very much so the human space of helping people find work, work that they loved and work where they could learn. And, I'm always all about, like what the pundits say, which is the jobs that our kids will have, especially like kids who are like, even like my son who's 18, by the time he hits the job market, there'll be jobs that are amazing, very good jobs for building a career that don't exist now. And one example, like kind of when I was, even 20 years ago, so like I was well out of college and graduate school. And, as the internet created, websites and e-commerce, there was, sort of UX, UI, user experience and user interface, like people who kind of helped design websites for making it easy to use and making it more of a pleasant shopping experience. And back in the day, there weren't any like training programs for that. Like people just sort of picked up that skill, and they could come from various backgrounds. Like one person I knew who was really good at it was an illustrator. Another person who was my kid's flute teacher's husband. He was actually an architect by training, but also does UX, UI. So people came to it all different ways, and sort of learned how to do that job on their own. And then, fast forward to like now, you can actually get, like there's PhD programs to be UX, UI, and it's considered sort of like a necessary part of building like a robust e-commerce site or any kind of a website. But 20 years ago, you couldn't even predict that would be, a career. And now, like all of a sudden you see tons of kids in college learning data analytics, marketing analytics, and that also, didn't exist even, 10 years ago, I feel like. But this book seems to have more conventional jobs. But I think that's a good place to start. I have a book list on, basically what you can be when you grow up. And there's one book in particular that is a favorite of mine, which is a whole book that's kind of like this on jobs that you've never heard of, but they're like insane, like really interesting jobs that you've never heard of, like feeding animals in like an aquatic park, or, all kinds of things, or in charge of dusting dinosaur skeletons, or, it was sort of like, it's a good book to combine with this, because this is good just having kids learn about jobs that exist now and have existed for 20, 40, 50, 100 plus years. And there's some other books where the jobs also have existed, but like they're just not well known, but they're quirky. And then maybe another book that's just more like jobs of the future. This has a little bit like robotics engineer, but like not like we're in such a paradigm shift right now with artificial intelligence that we're, I think we'll have all kinds of job titles and job categories and sort of like new ways of doing old jobs because of artificial intelligence. And I feel like that's right around the corner, if not like, next year. But this is a little bit more of an old-fashioned book of jobs, but a nice place to start for sure, especially for elementary school kids. So thank you to Albatros for this book, and thank you for watching.